welcome back to my channel. Totally moody. Okay, yeah, I am totally moody though. So I have had, some requests to do videos on how to the process to get licensed in the US when you're not a US trained nurse. So how the whole process for Cgfns. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. If you want to know, how to get licensed with Cgfns, the process that you have to go through, stay tuned and I'll be more than happy to go through it with you. I will have links below to Cgfns, and it's very tedious depending on the state. So you have to kind of know which state you want to go through. I don't have experience in all the states. Obviously, there are a lot of states. I only know about a few, so and I only know about a few based on what I've been told by other people. I know from personal experience about one. If you want to know about Cgfns, how to do your processing for your paperwork, to do your NCLEX in the US, stay tuned. We're gonna go through that, okay? Hi guys, so welcome back. What we're gonna talk about today is how to get licensed in the US, like the steps that you need to take. There are a few steps. It depends on your country and where you're coming from, your state, but things that are basically universal is Cgfns. So the link to their website will be in the description box. What you would do if you want to get licensed in the US, you would have to get your education verified, basically. So you would go to www.cgfns.com. Firstly, you would have to figure out the state that you want to get licensed in. So initially, I was licensed in New Mexico, so I can talk about that, for example. So you would go to Cgfns. What they have is, or you can go to New Mexico's website. They have the criteria, how to get licensed as an international nurse. They have the criteria of what they look for. So I had to get a CES, which was a credential evaluation report. Yeah, it was CES. You have different ones, like New York requires different ones than New Mexico. So you have to be sure that of the state that you're going in, and you have to choose your state and stick to the state that you chose, because some states don't take the one that maybe you have signed up for, so you can't have it transferred. So if you start the process for one, if another state, like if New Mexico, if another state takes CES as well, then before it is done processing, you can contact Cgfns, and I think you can have it switched over. But if they're done processing it, then they're not going to switch it over. You'd have to pay for another one. Okay? Now, so for New Mexico, we went to Cgfns. What you want is a CES report. So you fill it out, register online. It's gonna ask you for your personal information. You have to have a license for the country that you did your nursing school or your nursing course. So what you would do is you'd have your license there with all of your information on it, because it's gonna ask for that information. And it's gonna ask for information from your degree program or your nursing program, whichever it is. So what you do, you register, and then it's gonna give you the options. It's really straightforward. It's like page by page. So you fill it out page by page. It's gonna ask you for a CES report. If you're coming to the US to work, you need a professional report, not an academic report. If you're going to school, then I think you do an academic, like if you're going to do your master's. Canada, I think, accepts that one, but it just depends. If you're coming here to work, from my knowledge, you use the professional report. So after you fill that out, for New Mexico, I think it was $350 US. So you pay for your report, and after you pay for your report, there will be 2 forms. So you will log in, and you would click on print your forms. You print your forms out. There will be one that is to go to your school, and there'll be another one that is to go to your licensing body. So you want the one that's to go to your licensing body. Normally you don't fill out anything on it. It's already pre-filled out by Cgfns, so it's not for you to fill anything out on it. You take it there. If they charge a fee to verify your license, you hand them your paper. You let them know that you need your license to be verified. You pay them your fee. You get your tracking number. If you can get your tracking number at that time, or if you have to call back, you follow up. And then you have that sent to Cgfns. You go to your school, because they also need to verify your schooling. So you go to the school that offer your nursing program, you hand it in. They normally know how to fill it out because they do it a lot more. You find that they do it a lot more than the licensing bodies. So you hand it to them, they fill it out, and they send it to Cgfns. Now, for Cgfns, what they do is, if you don't pay for the quick thing, they're gonna email you and tell you that they have a quick processing, or whatever it is, a rapid processing, whatever the word is or the term is that they use. Now, you have to pay an extra, I think, $250 to get that done. It's normally done 5 days after, or within 5 days after you pay for that. Or you can wait the 8 weeks. So the time period it takes is 8 weeks. And it's 8 weeks after they have received all of your information that they have requested. Also, things that can slow your processing down, you don't need, when you're filling out that form, it asks you for, your primary school or prep school. It asks for that information. It asks for your secondary information, and it asks for tertiary information. Now, because it's a professional report, and what you want to do is you want to do it to get licensed in the US to work, you do not have to check the secondary education box. If you check that box, you're going to have to verify your high school information, and it's not mandatory. Your tertiary education is what is mandatory, and if you have specialized, that is mandatory. Primary and secondary is okay. You don't have to check those boxes. So if they check secondary box, just uncheck it and you'll be fine. You won't have to spend any extra amount of money to verify any, like for example, in the Caribbean, we have CXC examinations. You won't have to pay that extra money to verify your CXC examinations because you wouldn't have checked that. Okay? So when that's processed, if you don't want to pay for the quick, which that $250, I would not pay it. I would wait the 8 weeks. I am sorry. But yeah, it's 8 weeks after Cgfns receives all of your information. When it's done processing, they're going to send it directly to the state board of nursing that you chose. Now, for example, that really takes long is the Cgfns portion of it, and it is costly because it does cost money to get your license verified and your education verified. And then if you pay that $250, it'll be done in a couple weeks. If not, it will be 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, it's 6 to 8 weeks after they have received all the information. And that's basically it for Cgfns. So if you guys have any other questions, visit my blog. I will have a blog on it. It'll have more detailed information. It will have links of where you're supposed to click on for any information that you may need. Any questions, if you have questions, the best place to ask me is on my blog, because I can respond to you and give you, the answers that you need without missing anything. You can also comment in the comment box below. Let me know and I will try. But if you don't see a comment, just visit my blog and I'll try to, answer any questions that you have for me. Okay, guys? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.